Hello, everyone. Hi, and welcome. This is International Royals TV. Thanks for clicking. Please thumbs up if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the channel with notification bell turned on if you haven't already. Thank you so much for being here. So today's session is session number 4, and we are talking about Prince Philip's life history. And session number 4 is called Marriage. If you haven't already previously seen our previous episodes, you can catch up in the playlist section and also on the community tab, and it's called Prince Philip's Life History. So let's get on with session number 4, and it's called Marriage in terms of Prince Philip's life history. And source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. So let's go. Marriage. In 1939, King George VI and Queen Elizabeth toured the Royal Naval College, Dartmouth, during the visit. The Queen and Lord Louis Mountbatten asked his nephew Philip to escort the royal couple's daughters, 13-year-old Elizabeth and 9-year-old Margaret, who were Philip's third cousins through Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom and second cousins once removed through King Christian IX of Denmark. Philip and Elizabeth had first met as children in 1934 at the wedding of Elizabeth's uncle, Prince George, Duke of Kent, to Philip's first cousin, Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark. After their 1939 meeting, Elizabeth fell in love with Philip and they began to exchange letters. Ah, how sweet. Eventually, in the summer of 1946, Philip asked George VI for his daughter's hand in marriage. The king granted his request, provided that any formal engagement be delayed until Elizabeth's 21st birthday, the following April. By March 1947, Philip had adopted the surname Mountbatten from his mother's family and had stopped using his Greek and Danish royal titles upon becoming a naturalized British subject. The engagement was announced to the public on 9th of July 1947. The engagement attracted some controversy. Philip had no financial standing, was foreign-born, and had sisters who had married German noblemen with Nazi links. Marion Crawford wrote, "Some of the king's advisers did not think him good enough for her." Oh, wow. He was a prince without a home or kingdom. Some of the papers played long and loud tunes on the string of Philip's foreign origin. Okay, let's continue. Later, biographies reported that Elizabeth's mother had reservations about the union initially and teased Philip as the Hun. In later life, however, she told the biographer Tim Hild that Philip was an English gentleman, though Philip appeared always to have regarded himself as Anglican, and he had attended Anglican services with his classmates and relations in England and throughout his Royal Navy days. He was baptized in the Greek Orthodox Church. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Geoffrey Fisher, wanted to regularize Philip's position by officially receiving him into the Church of England, which he did in October 1947. The day before the wedding, the king bestowed the style of Royal Highness on Philip, and on the morning of the wedding, 20th of November 1947, he was made the Duke of Edinburgh, Earl of Merioneth, and Baron Greenwich of Greenwich in the County of London. Consequently, being already a Knight of the Garter between 19th and 20th November 1947, he bore the usual style Lieutenant His Royal Highness Sir Philip Mountbatten, and so described in the letters patent of 20th of November 1947. Philip and Elizabeth were married in a ceremony at Westminster Abbey, recorded and broadcast by BBC Radio to 200 million people around the world. Wow, that's amazing. In post-war Britain, it was unacceptable for any of Philip's German relations, including his 3 surviving sisters, to be invited to the wedding. Okay. After their marriage, Philip and Elizabeth took residence at Clarence House. Their first 2 children were born before Elizabeth's accession in 1952. Prince Charles in November 1948 and Princess Anne in August 1950. The couple's marriage was the longest of any British monarch, lasting over 73 years until Philip died in 2021. Sadly passed away. Let's continue. Concerned by her father's poor health, Elizabeth insisted that Philip gave up smoking, which he did cold turkey on their wedding day. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Most people find it hard to quit, but he did really well. Okay, let's continue. Philip was introduced to the House of Lords on 21st of July 1948, immediately before his uncle Louis Mountbatten, who had been Earl Mountbatten of Burma. Philip ostensibly never spoke in the House of Lords. He, his sons, and other royals ceased to be members of the House of Lords following the House of Lords Act in 1999, although Philip's former brother-in-law, Lord Snowdon, remained in the House. That brings us to the end of session number 4, and that was called Marriage, and that's in terms of Prince Philip's life history. And the next session will be called Early Duties, and that will be session number 5. And if you've previously missed any of these, you could able to catch up in our playlist section and on the community tab, and it's called Prince Philip's Life History. We also have Queen Elizabeth II's life history, Princess Anne's life history, Prince Edward's life history, and now we have Prince Philip's life history. So you'll find those all in the playlist section if you need to catch up. And I do thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for